G'day, how's it going? It is your mate Failbait coming at you with a Shadowverse 101 budget deck guide. This one focusing on Mysterian runecraft, where the main idea is very simple. Burn your opponent to victory. So you want to use as many spells as possible to deal as much damage as possible. A good example there is Chain Lightning as well as Miss Miranda, one of the best cards in the deck. Among 2 golds you run, the other one being Anne, and of course the only legendary being Mysteria Magic Founder. So let's get into it. This deck is pretty simple to operate. You want to keep your Mysterian cards, especially Miss Miranda, because she does reduce cost every time you play a Mysterian card. And she does give you so many great options for either removing minions on the board, stalling with your ward cards, or hitting face with burn damage. The other great card, that one, the legendary Mysteria Magic Founder, increases all of your spells damage by 1 and helps you win the game faster. Evelicia is a bit of a budget option here. You could very easily replace her with Vesper, the legendary from the Grade of the Sky. Again, another good 2-drop. Bertrand kind of contests the board and again gives you more options if you can get him to activate with Last Words, but not entirely necessary. However, here Mysterian Knowledge is really useful for us, giving us more burn damage in Mysterian Missile. But the more missiles you get, you'll find that you need to kind of rely on your opponent having minions on the board, which is not, entirely uncommon. Now I opted to play for more Mysterian cards here, opting to play the Ward as well, and Miss Miranda to kind of get the Evolve effect, which will give us another burn card called the Mysterian Right, I believe, which is a fantastic option as well just for closing out the game. So I do prefer Miss Miranda to Anne in these mid-turns, that's why I like to keep Miss Miranda, but obviously in slow matchups you want to be keeping Anne. Galmiu was a great card, it clears the board here, we probably could have played around that a little bit. But we do have quite a few options. We have the Mysterian Missile to get rid of it, or, as we play here, the Mysterian Blackworm, because it does survive, it gives us another huge body on board, and it gives us more burn damage. I think next turn as well, comboing the Mysteria Magic Founder with a 2-drop spell is really powerful. But we'll see what they play first. Alright, so they're going to clear the board here. I doubt they will play any minions, because like I said, they know we have Mysterian Missiles now, and you kind of need them. So if you're not playing minions, it means you can't play your Mysterian Missile. So they're just going to draw and then probably finish off with this nest. Yep, alright, so no minions on board, which means we have to play around a few things here. So we'll just play the Mysteria. Again, it's a good card, but we'll finish off the turn there. So the more of these you play in a game, the easier it becomes. Your spells deal +1 damage, a pretty important part of any Burn Rune deck. So even though she is a legendary, she is a bit expensive. If you do plan on playing anything Mysteria or Burn related, Mysteria Magic Founder is absolutely necessary. And once again, no minions, but we did get another Magic Founder, which gets us very, very close to winning this game. My order was a bit wrong here. You generally want to play her before you play any Mysteria cards, so you can get the Bunnycorn Nick on board, but I guess it didn't really make a difference, did it? They still clear here, and they get rid of... Oh no, the minion stays on the board, okay. So we're very close again to lethal here. So I decided to draw instead though. We want to kind of get Anne or another Miss Miranda. There we go, Miss Miranda. And we only need 1 Mysterian Missile to deal with this. So as you can see, that Blackworm just added so much damage onto it. So as you can see here, the Mysterian Blackworm deals 1 damage to the enemy leader. And because we played Miss Miranda, it's basically dealing 3 damage to the enemy leader. Again, I want to dig for Anne, I kind of want to show it off. Even another Miss Miranda would be nice, but we didn't get it. So I just go for the big bodies on board once again and just slowly chip away at their health. I actually think we have lethal though. So a good tip is to count lethal during your opponent's turn. So this is at +2, so it's 5 damage, +3, +3. It's 11 damage, right? Not quite lethal, but with this it is. So we actually, yeah. Well, we still win anyway, because we have the Mysterian Right to finish off the game. So there you go, there's a good example of Mysterian Burn Rune. Like I said, the major tip, calculate lethal during your opponent's turn, and then that means during your turn all you have to do is think about the order of cards you need to play them in. So Mysterian Runecraft got some great options, this guy being one of them, and being another. We didn't get to play her, but hopefully you saw the power of Miss Miranda and of Mysteria Magic Founder, and how effective they can be at burning out your opponent, even if they had healing. As we saw last turn, they had so much healing, they were back up to 19, we managed to deal 10 in 1 turn. The missile or whatever is enough to close out the game with a Mysterian Right. So again, very powerful deck. The Mysterian tag is very fun to play around with. And while I don't know if this deck will be super viable for the entire expansion, I think if you're just getting started and you had some of these cards already lying around and you kind of want to play around with it, I think this is a good deck for ladder because of how fast it is. So you can get games done as quickly as possible, win as many games as quickly as possible, and definitely there's a lot of stuff here that can be used to develop other Runecraft decks in the future. So there you have it. I've been your mate Velvet, bringing you this budget deck guide for Mysterian Runecraft. I hope it's been of some use to you, and if it has, don't forget to subscribe, or if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask in the comments below. So until next time, keep burning that face damage. See you later.
You're a solid fighter.